Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into one of those stories that captures both the drama of South African politics and the seriousness of accountability in our democracy. It's the kind of saga where Julius Malema, never shy to speak his mind, takes aim at one of the most powerful men in the country's policing establishment.
If we are looking for him, we have to find him. And if he's not going to make himself available, we're going to have to summon him. He's the one who started this mess, and he's going to have to take responsibility. He's not going to tell us about commission this, commission that, and all of that. We don't know what commission is doing. We are not interfering with the commission, and the commission must never interfere with us. So, Mkhwanazi must be summoned to this committee. This ad hoc committee, it's established because Mkhwanazi took his own time to say the things he said. And he's not going to tell us now that he's not available. The same way he was available to appear on TV with guns and everything else, that is the same way he's going to avail himself to this committee. He needs to be called, and the sooner we call him, the better. And if he's not responsive, you must summon him. Because we must not create an impression that
into policing failures in KwaZulu-Natal. If you followed South African politics for even 5 minutes, you'll know that KZN is no stranger to violent crime, political killings, and allegations of corruption within its police ranks. It's a province where, in many respects, democracy feels like it hangs by a thread. Malema is arguing that the very man responsible for maintaining order in that province is actively avoiding being held accountable. And this isn't just about missing a meeting or two. Observers are warning that if Mkhwanazi continues to resist appearing before Parliament, this could spiral into a constitutional standoff. Think about it, the Constitution says Parliament has the power to summon anyone to account, and if a top police commissioner shrugs off that authority, what message does that send? It says the police can act outside democratic oversight, and that's a dangerous precedent. But here's where it gets juicy. Malema didn't just stop at calling Mkhwanazi a no-show. He hinted at legal action and even parliamentary sanctions. In his words, the time for running is over. If you have nothing to hide, come and account. That's basically Malema saying, we can either do this the easy way, or the hard way. And if you know Malema, he's not bluffing when he makes that kind of threat. Now, why would Mkhwanazi, a man with a reputation for being tough, uncompromising, and deeply respected within the security cluster, avoid Parliament? Some say it's because he doesn't want to be dragged into political mudslinging. Others whisper that he might be protecting people, or protecting himself, from what could come out under scrutiny. Remember, KwaZulu-Natal is ground zero for political killings in South Africa. Every election cycle, blood is spilled. Councillors are assassinated, whistleblowers are silenced, and police officers themselves are sometimes implicated. If Parliament starts digging too deep, some very uncomfortable truths could surface. Malema knows this. And he's positioning himself as the voice of accountability. But let's be honest, there's also a political angle here. With the 2026 local elections just around the corner, every party is jostling for influence, especially in KZN, where the ANC, the EFF, and the MK party are in a bitter tug-of-war. By targeting Mkhwanazi, Malema gets to play the role of champion for transparency while also casting suspicion on the governing structures in the province. It's clever politics. And it's not the first time Mkhwanazi has found himself at the center of controversy. Those who followed his career know he's been both praised for his firm hand and criticized for being resistant to oversight. Some see him as the last strong man in a police service riddled with weakness. Others see him as part of the problem, a man who refuses to acknowledge the rot under his command. Let's add another layer. South Africa has a long history of blurred lines between politics and policing. During apartheid, the police were essentially a political tool. Post-apartheid, every administration has promised to build a professional, accountable police force. Yet here we are, in 2025, still dealing with commissioners and generals accused of dodging transparency. It raises the question, has the culture of secrecy and impunity really changed, or just shifted into new uniforms? Malema's attack also highlights a tension we don't often talk about. There's a kind of hidden Cold War between Parliament, which represents the will of the people, and the security cluster, which often behaves like a state within a state. Police generals, intelligence chiefs, and senior security officials sometimes act as though they answer only to themselves. That's why this showdown with Mkhwanazi matters. It's not just about one man skipping a meeting. It's about whether elected representatives can truly hold the security establishment accountable. But here's where the humor comes in. Malema accusing someone of playing hide and seek is almost poetic. You can imagine Mkhwanazi ducking behind parliament pillars or pretending to be out of office whenever the committee calls. Maybe next time he'll send a doctor's note like a schoolboy avoiding a maths test. But the joke, of course, has a serious edge. Because while Mkhwanazi avoids parliament, ordinary people in KZN are living under the shadow of violence. Political killings in the province are not just statistics. They are real stories of ward councillors gunned down outside their homes, activists shot in broad daylight, and communities paralyzed by fear. Every time a leader refuses to answer questions, those families feel the wound all over again. Now, will Malema's pressure campaign work? That's the million-rand question. Mkhwanazi hasn't given a formal response yet, but silence is its own statement. The longer he delays, the more it looks like he has something to hide. And the more Malema will use that silence to paint him as part of a cover-up. In the end, this standoff could go one of two ways. Either Mkhwanazi swallows his pride, shows up before Parliament, and faces some tough questions, or the battle escalates into courtrooms and constitutional debates, with the whole country watching. Either way, the stakes are high, and the drama is only just beginning. So, what do you think? Is Malema genuinely fighting for accountability, or is this just another political move in the battle for KwaZulu-Natal? Is Mkhwanazi protecting his office from political interference, or is he dodging responsibility? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into South Africa's political theatre. That's all for today, folks. See you next time.